Who really is Dr. Julian Rush in the Penguin series? The second episode of the Penguin series left us with a lot of intrigue, thanks to several details we noticed while watching the episode. One of them being the Penguin's origin story, as we could see a big change. But this is a topic for a future video. But without a doubt, a detail that has many talking around social networks is the introduction of a new character, which seems that we will be seeing frequently in this series. I'm talking, of course, about Dr. Julian Rush, the psychiatrist of who was supposed to be the main antagonist of this series, Sofia Falcone. But why did this character catch our attention so much? Is he hiding something? Will we be seeing a big reveal thanks to this character? In this video, we will be discussing all these details. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before we start with this video, and to celebrate the arrival of the Penguin series, we will be giving away a Funko Pop from the Batman movie. To participate, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and leave a comment telling us who is your favorite character from the DC universe and why. The winner will be announced on October 31st. Let's start by explaining how we came to see this character and analyze why we should pay close attention to him. If you remember correctly, we start this episode with Sofia Falcone, who is shown to us in the attire used by inmates in the Arkham psychiatric hospital, being moved to what appears to be a cell. Once inside, we can observe her brother, Alberto Falcone, visiting her in that psychiatric hospital. A moment that managed to confuse many, as it was being implied that these were memories of Sofia before she was rehabilitated. But this did not last long, as we see Alberto place his hand on the glass, and immediately we see that he is missing a finger. Not only that, but we see him being shot, an action that caused the facility to go into a lockdown mode, ensuring that none of the patients escape. Both the lights and the constant alarm caused Sofia to panic, remembering how she saw her brother in the trunk of the vehicle that crashed into the Falcone mansion. We obviously know that none of this is real, and eventually it is revealed to us that Sofia is in the office of her therapist, Dr. Julian Rush, who also seems to be practicing some kind of hypnosis on her. It is clear that Dr. Rush and Sofia have some kind of intimate and developed relationship, which goes beyond the typical doctor and patient, because we see him hug her closely and intensely as a way of calming her down after she freaked out during the treatment. But what is this treatment? We don't know for sure, but it seems like an immersive way to review her trauma head-on, and it's something she's not taking very well. He manages to calm Sofia down by trying to get her to talk about what she experienced, but this doesn't work out so well for her. His participation in this episode is short, but he certainly gave a lot to talk about. Who is Dr. Julian Rush in the comics, and what do we know about this character? To our surprise, we do not have a character named Julian Rush in the comics, putting him then as a relatively new character in the DC universe, being officially introduced in the Penguin series. But there is something very important we should know, and that is that a number of changes have arisen in this universe. One of them being that the Riddler, historically speaking, is called Edward Nygma, but in the Batman, his name was altered to Edward Nashton. This is not the only one that underwent a change, as the Penguin's name went from Oswald Cobblepot to simply Oswald Cobb. And as I mentioned earlier, not only was our protagonist's name altered, but his origin story as well, which lets us know that in this version of the Batman and Gotham universe, not everything is exactly what it seems. What am I getting at with this? Well, just as these details have been altered, we could also be seeing changes in other characters, such as Dr. Julian Rush. What reason would there be to alter a character that doesn't even exist in the comics? Look at it this way, we are just seeing the introduction of this character to the series and this universe. Not only that, but his involvement was very short. In other words, we still have a lot to discover about this character. Does that mean we won't know anything until his next appearance in the series? Partially, yes. But this does not mean that we can't speculate what his real identity might be. If we analyze the scene where Dr. Julian Rush appears, we notice that his behavior with Sofia is very interesting. Not only because of the attraction or the chemistry that they clearly have, but we can see that he has some kind of control over her. Specifically, we could say that he knows how he can manipulate her without any problem. Which gets us thinking, will there be any character in the DC universe that shows similar characteristics to the ones we just mentioned? Well, it turns out that there are two characters that exactly meet these characteristics. One of them is Dr. Jonathan Crane, also known as the Scarecrow. The villain is usually presented as an Arkham doctor, who experiments on the inmates and ends up going crazy due to his use of fear gas to induce nightmares. And if we analyze it well, both characters have similarities that make us think that this could be the case, such as the fact that we met Rush inducing nightmares to Sofia and making her face her fears. Another being the awkward moment he had with her, a moment that is presented as morally dubious due to the fact that their relationship is between doctor and patient. There is also the fact that both characters' names begin with the same letter, Julian and Jonathan. Finally, we have the detail that the new substance that we will be seeing in the series, which will be the replacement of the very popular drops, comes directly from Arkham Psychiatric Hospital. And if you know the history of Dr. Jonathan Crane, we know that he used to work in that hospital, and that he used to perform unethical experiments on the inmates there. But this is not the only character Dr. Julian Rush is associated with, as many think he is actually Dr. Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange is characterized as a twisted psychiatrist who sometimes works at Arkham, or some other type of hospital or facility in Gotham. This character loves to pry dark secrets out of patients through unorthodox, illegal, or even dangerous methods. He has also been described as a scientist who designs monster men. But the Batman universe probably won't go in that direction. So if he turns out to be Dr. Hugo Strange, I doubt we'll see this side of the villain. So what can we expect from this character? Well, the introduction of Dr. Julian Rush in the Penguin series opens up a number of intriguing possibilities about his true identity and purpose. Although he doesn't exist in the comics, his behavior and interactions with Sofia Falcone suggest similarities to iconic villains like the Scarecrow or Hugo Strange, indicating that he could have a deeper, more sinister role in the story. As the series progresses, it will be fascinating to see how this character develops, and whether he is truly meant to be a new original figure, or a reimagination of one of Gotham's classic antagonists. But tell me, what do you think about all of this? Do you think Dr. Julian Rush will actually be an iconic Batman villain? Or do you think he's a completely original character that we'll be seeing in this series? Share your opinion in the comments. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You're on. The Oasis Geek.